CookingWithAlia, and today I'm going to show you how to make pâte sucrée. Pâte sucrée is basically a French pastry dough that is used to make pies. And it's a base of pies with fillings that do not require to be baked. For example, the filling is custard or cream, etc. So you don't have to bake it. What we're going to do is make the crust, bake it, and then you have this fond de tarte, which means this base of the pie that you just have to fill. It's super easy, the ingredients are very simple, and you don't even have to go back to the store and purchase it already made, because now you can make it at home. So let's start! First, we're going to make the butter mixture. So to make the butter mixture, we need very softened butter. So to do that, you can put it in the microwave for a few seconds, but it's very important that the butter is very soft. See? Then we're going to sift the powdered sugar on top of the butter. Mix the butter and sugar either using a spatula or using your hands. I like using my hands, it's much easier. Add a little bit of almond powder. Almond powder is basically just raw blanched almonds that are mixed in a food processor, and that's it. And of course a pinch of salt. As I always say, when you bake something sweet, you always want to add a little bit of salt, because that will bring the sweetness of the ingredients. So salt in baking is always important. Okay, and all you want is this ball of butter. You don't want to mix it too much, just enough for the ingredients to get together, and that's it. I'm going to flavor my pâte sucrée with vanilla extract. However, feel free to flavor it the way you want. You can use powdered ginger or ground cinnamon or any spices you like. I like it with vanilla, it's standard. It goes with many flavors. So just add the vanilla to your egg and lightly beat it. Add the egg and vanilla to the butter mixture and mix it using a spatula. And finally, sift the flour on top of all the ingredients. Mix the flour. So here is the tip. You don't want to overmix this dough, because if you overmix it, when it bakes, it retracts and becomes smaller. So you just want the ingredients to form a ball, and that's it. So just make sure all the ingredients are integrated and form a ball, but don't knead it too much. And here we got a very smooth ball of dough. Wrap the dough with a plastic wrap, like this. Press it a little bit. And now place it in the fridge for at least 1 hour. So the dough, as I said, when you work it out, it becomes very elastic. And so when it bakes, it shrinks. By placing it in the fridge, we're going to let it rest so it doesn't shrink when we bake it. You can actually make this dough 1 to 2 days in advance before using it. So you got some time. You can make it today and make your pie tomorrow. So let's put it in the fridge. After cooling down the dough, we're going to shape it in molds. So you have two choices. You could use small little individual molds for small tarts, or a big one that usually comes in 2 pieces. The rims, the edges, and the bottom. So I personally prefer the small ones, because then I can freeze them, I can use them for individual portions, and I like to just have my little pie and not share it with anyone. So I'm going for the small ones today. Take a little bit of butter and butter the molds all around. Sprinkle some flour in your working station here, and then also cover your rolling pin with flour so it doesn't stick to the dough. Here our dough is ready. Give it a little tap just to flatten it. And now just roll it. You don't want it too thin or too thick, so this is the thickness you're looking for. To place the dough in your mold, you're going to use your pin, roll it around the pin, and put it in the mold. However, this dough is very fragile, it will break. So don't worry if it breaks, just take the little pieces and piece them up in the mold. I'm going to show you how to do this. So first, put the dough around your rolling pin, then put your mold here, and just roll it around. Like this, okay? I'm going to press it with my fingers a little bit. And because the edges are already sharp, it's very easy. If I roll my pin around it, it will just cut the dough I need. So I'll just place it like this. However, because this dough shrinks when it bakes, I'm going to add a little bit of dough around here because we need to put it over the edge a little bit. So I'm just going to patch it like this. And here my mold is ready. After I shape my dough, I'm going to pierce it with a fork. And we do this because when it bakes, we don't want it to inflate, right? So you just pierce it everywhere, even the edges, like this. If you're making a big pie crust, you should pierce it, but also you should put in the middle parchment paper and on top of it beans before baking it. Because this way we add weight on the center of the pie before we bake it. Because these are small, I don't have to do this. I only need to pierce the pie, okay? Place the dough in the fridge for 30 minutes before baking it. Preheat your oven to 360 Fahrenheit degrees, which is 180 Celsius degrees, and bake the dough for around 15 minutes. The baking time will depend on your oven. That's it! My pâte sucrée is ready. As you can see, it has a light golden brown color. I'm going to let them here rest until they cool down a little bit. Then I will remove them from the mold. You can use the pâte sucrée tarte base right now and let it cool down a little bit. Fill it with custard, fruits and all that stuff. Or you can wrap it with cellophane, like plastic wrap. Put it in a freezer bag and freeze them. They're really awesome to freeze. All you have to do, pop them out from the freezer, put them in the oven for a few minutes to heat them up and fill them up with anything you want. I love these. I hope you enjoyed the recipe. See you next time. Bon appétit!